Gokaiger had a lot of memorable characters and some of the best writing in the entire franchise. From heartwarming story beats to heroes going through excellent character development, this video is going to rank the top 10 best episodes of Gokaiger. So let's start off the list at number 10. Coming in as our number 10 best episode of Gokaiger is episode 33. It's a Hero. This episode features a food-obsessed monster of the week named Zakura, who eats Guy's Gokai cellular. Without his transformation device, Guy falls into self-doubt, questioning if he can even call himself a hero anymore. While he's feeling down, he crosses paths with Ryo, who was formerly Ryu Ranger from Dai Ranger, who now runs a restaurant. Ryo encourages him, reminding Guy that true heroism isn't about the suit, but the resolve and determination to protect others. Their bond becomes the focus of the episode, showing Guy that even without his powers, he can still be a hero. Eventually, Zakura launches another attack, threatening civilians at a crowded market, where Guy and Ryo fight side by side. Reignited by Ryo's example, Guy remembers why he became Gokai Silver in the first place, reinvigorating him just in time to recover his lost Gokai Cellular. From there, the Gokaigers unleash the full power of the Dai Rangers, leading to a massive team finish that defeats Zakura for good. Next at number 9 on our list is episode 24, Foolish Earthlings. This is one of the wildest stories in all of Gokaiger, centering on the return of Gelosto, who befriends a takoyaki vendor named Nobuyuki. The crew arrives to Nobuyuki's takoyaki stand, where they're surprised to see Gelosto serving food. This episode features a monster of the week named Sindon, and the bulk of the episode is a mix of action and humor. The premise starts as a joke, but eventually turns into a commentary on prejudice as Gelosto argues with Nobuyuki's mother, who hates aliens, and this is a big part of the story. Eventually, Gelosto actually protects her from Sindon. After a climactic battle, the crew stands victorious, and the episode is capped off with a hilarious premise as Gelosto and Nobuyuki's mother actually get married and run an onsen together. As much as the mother hated aliens, she changed her opinion due to Gelosto protecting her, and she fell head over heels in love with him. This episode is hilarious, thought-provoking, and super unique. Next up is episode 5, Judgment Pirates, an explosive episode where the crew comes into direct conflict with the Deca Rangers. This makes for a stark contrast between the team's different styles and one of Gokaiger's best crossovers. SPD tries to arrest the team due to the galactic bounties on their head. The crew scatters, but Marvy ends up in handcuffs in a face-to-face confrontation with Deca Master. Marvelous ends up proving himself to Doggy Kruger when he saves him during battle. This serves as an excellent character arc for Marvy that showed that he'll do what's right even when it may cost him. This turns the show's premise into a story about mutual respect. Boom. SPD realizes that the crew's bounties weren't justified, and after earning the trust of the Deca Rangers, the pirates gain their ultimate power. Deca Ranger had some excellent and charismatic characters that were great to see here, and this is an episode I would recommend to any fan of Deca Ranger. The next episode we're going to look at is episode 22, Promise from the Star. This episode stands out as one of the deepest and most emotional stories in Gokaiger, focused on a promise made by a kid named Shota to his friend to meet on a mountain beneath a shooting star. This premise becomes a story about loyalty, conviction, and the weight of keeping your word. Joe and Guy meet Shota while he's on his bike and desperate to reach the meeting place that he and his fallen friend agreed on. He has a powerful stone that can combine with another stone found on the mountain that can grant the wielder power. Zongyak gets wind of this and sends their monster of the week named Stargull to the mountain to retrieve the other stone, prompting a confrontation with the crew. In the end, Shota reaches the mountain like he promised, and this episode was one of the most heartfelt moments in the series. Next, we're going to look at episode 6, The Most Important Thing, which focuses on Luca and a story that strips away her usual swagger to show the audience her heart. What starts as a pursuit for a ring becomes something way deeper, as she becomes a maid for a family broken by greed, showing her how the pursuit of wealth can make someone lose sight of what truly matters in life. The family has a golden tree that led them to great wealth, while the daughter character places much more value in a doll that her father gave her while they were broke. Eventually, Zongyak attacks to try and steal the tree, but Luca protects the family while showing them that their love is way more valuable than anything material. This was an excellent episode that reframes Luca as more than just a money-hungry pirate, but as someone who understands that there are some things in life that money just can't buy. Next up is episode 28, Wings Are Eternal, a great story that forces Marvelous to confront his own pride and shaken confidence. After the appearance of a ruthless bounty hunter named Kaido, Marvy finds himself crippled by fear and self-doubt, unsure if he can live up to the role of captain. What makes the episode shine is the arrival of Jetman's Black Condor, Gokaiger, who gives Marvy words of encouragement to shake him out of his slump. As a warrior who continues to fight even beyond death, Gokaiger becomes a guide that reminds Marvy what it really means to have courage. With his confidence restored, Marvelous leads the team in an unforgettable fight that channels the spirit of Jetman. This is one of Gokaiger's most emotional crossover episodes, blending action with legacy, and I'd consider it essential viewing for Sentai fans. Coming up next is episode 50, The Day of Battle, one of the darkest and most defining moments in the entire series. The Gokaigers use every greater power they've collected in the fight, only to be absolutely crushed as their mecha are torn apart and the galleon itself is left in ruin. For the first time, the crew faces true defeat, staring down the overwhelming power of Zongyak with nothing left to rely on. While the crew is banged up, the people of Earth, inspired by the Sentai legacy, rise up to resist Zongyak. When given the opportunity to claim the greatest treasure, the Gokaigers make the hard choice to destroy the object, stand on their own, and carve their own path forward. That decision serves as a culmination of everything their journey has been about, not just inheriting power, but proving themselves as heroes. They eventually return to the battlefield, standing tall against Zongyak and becoming legends before our eyes. Next up is episode 38, The Power to Seize Dreams, a turning point in the story where Joe finally confronts his past in a decisive battle with Badazorg, laying Sid's memory to rest in an epic confrontation, while also finding the resolve to keep moving forward with his crew. At the same time, Marvelous, beaten and near death, reconnects with Akka Red in a dream that reminds him of what it means to be a pirate. Ike! Joe! After some excellent character development, the team would reunite in a battle against Warsgil himself. The Gokaigers win decisively with Kanzen Gokaio. With Gil destroyed and their own greater power secured, the episode cements the crew as a true Sentai in their own right, a team that's not defined by the Sentais that came before them, but by their own heart and determination. Number 2 on our list is episode 43, The Legendary Hero, and this is Doc's defining moment of the series, an episode that tears away his comic relief label and shows the depth of his courage. With Marvelous on the brink of death, the weight of responsibility falls on Doc's shoulders, and the beauty of this story is how it shows his strength, not as raw power, but as the refusal to quit even when the situation is bleak and almost hopeless. That persistence, loyalty, and heart becomes the key to saving Captain Marvelous, and this proves that Doc deserves his place amongst the crew. At the same time, the episode showcases the downfall of Damaris, who's defeated not by brute force, but by the resilience of a crew he underestimated. In the end, it's Doc who lands the final blow, transforming him from the weakest pirate to someone with unshakable willpower. It's one of Gokaiger's best examples of character development, turning an underdog into a hero and proving that legends are built on conviction as much as physical strength. But not every great episode could make the list, so here's a few honorable mentions. Our first honorable mention is episode 1, The Space Pirates Appear. As the first episode, it sets the tone for Gokaiger by introducing us to a world under attack by Zongyak as our pirate heroes search for the greatest treasure in the universe. They didn't show up to do anything heroic, but when they see civilians getting killed by Zongyak, they decide to fight, leading them down a path that would eventually see them become legends. Our next honorable mention is episode 15, A Privateer Appears, which marks a turning point in Gokaiger by introducing Basco, who redefines the threat facing the team. More than just another villain, Basco was a former comrade of Marvelous and Aka Red before he betrayed them, making his arrival feel really personal. What makes this episode resonate so deep is how Basco shatters the crew's confidence and forces them to face overwhelming odds. It's a dramatic premise that would trigger a ton of growth amongst the crew. For the best episode of Gokaiger, I'm gonna pick episode 48, The Fated Showdown. It's the payoff to the long-developing rivalry between Marvelous and Basco, and it's every bit as brutal and personal as fans hoped it would be. What makes it so impactful isn't just the epic battle, but the clash of ideals between the two former comrades. Basco represents betrayal and selfish ambition, willing to sacrifice anything for power, but Marvelous is driven by loyalty to his crew. Their shared history adds weight to the fight, where every attack is peak drama. In the end, Marvelous stands victorious as Basco falls in defeat. This was an absolutely epic confrontation that had been building for more than half of the season, and it definitely didn't disappoint. While Zongyak was the primary threat that the crew faced during the series, Basco was a much more personal rival for Marvelous, and more dangerous in a lot of ways, so seeing him fall was an epic moment that fans had been waiting for. So those are the episodes of Gokaiger that I think are the best, but I want to know what you think. Let me know your favorite Gokaiger episode in the comments. If you're new here, be sure to Gokai Change into a subscriber by hitting that subscribe button. Join my Discord to hang out with me and other cool Toku fans, links in the description. And if you enjoyed this video, it would mean a ton to me if you smack the shit out of that like button. Thanks for watching, I'll catch you later.